Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me today. My name is Michael Smith, the National Consumer Education Manager of Janome Canada, and we're here for another beautiful Janome HQ, Janome's Magical Machine Mystery Tour. What possibly could be the machine we're talking about today? Well, it's under this beautiful Janome case. Now, this is quite unique for me in my sewing room. I never cover my machines. I'm always using them, but, even when I'm away, I always think, I really should cover my machine, but I never seem to do so. But many of our machines have a beautiful cover, such as this, saying Janome. So, what could our machine be today? Well, a clue is Tanya's fabulous artwork. If you saw the post on Janome HQ's Instagram, it was this beautiful outdoor scene with some sun showing the beautiful sky. Here's a clue. The machine has a knee lifter, which is great. A lot of our machines do. Makes it very handy to raise your presser foot hands-free. The knee lifter is something taken from the garment industry, as a lot of industrial machines have that capability. So that's always good to do. Very time-saving features. We've got some CDs with our machine. There's an instructional DVD, so I hope you all review these, put them in your computer when you get your machine, if it comes with the instructional DVD, so then you can find out more about your machine. But as well, this comes with a Stitch Composer CD. And what Stitch Composer is, allows you to create your own stitches on your computer. Then you can save them to a USB stick and then import them into your machine. So very cool. I'll show you a little bit about that. But there's more instructions as well on Stitch Composers elsewhere, which I'll again talk about in just a minute, because I won't be able to give you the lesson today. It's again a little too time consuming for the time that we have now. So there's some clues to what machine that we have. And then, another clue. Your instruction book, of course. You can find out more about your machine in your instruction book. Now, did you notice in this cover how much storage there is built in? There's a little pocket here at the back for the instruction book, so you can keep all your tools and supplies with your machine together. So that's fabulous. So our machine today is, maybe I'll stand up and do, it's the fabulous Skyline S7. Ta-da! Fabulous. So our Skyline S7, I was really very excited to use this. I have this down at the Janome Sewing and Learning Center, and I, in fact, used it recently, about last week, I think it was. There was a blog post that I did about a mending repair that I had done on the shirt I was wearing that day. So you can go back to the Janome Life blog to find out more information about that post specifically. It was entitled, A Sewing Machine is Office Equipment. Since I made that repair to my clothing while I was at the office. But I absolutely adored the Skyline S7. I've used it a couple of times in my demos for our Janome's Awesome Accessory Countdown. And if you need a machine, you're at entry level, but you'd like a little more, something a little bigger, this is about 8 3/8 inches from the center needle position to the bed of the machine, 240 stitches. So again, if you have like more of an entry level machine and you want more, bigger space, more stitches, more lighting with this beautiful LED lighting, more features. I've got needle up down. I've got the automatic presser foot lift. I've got the automatic scissor button to cut my threads. We've got the little lock stitch, the reverse stitch, a stop-start button, so I don't have to use the foot pedal. There's so many great features with the Skyline range of machines, and specifically Skyline S7. Now, the Skyline range of machines is really pretty much like a good mid-range machine towards like the higher end of things. There's a Skyline S3, there's an S5, an S6, an S7, and our S9, Skyline S9 is the combo machine that does sewing and embroidery. In the UK and in other parts of the world, they're also known as Atelier as opposed to Skyline, but they're the same machine. They're just called different names. But it's a fabulous machine, can do so much. I'll just show you a little bit today, again, because of our time. But again, if you're ready to upgrade to a machine, but you don't want anything quite as fancy or you know, quite as costly as, like, say, the MemoryCraft 15,000, our top-of-the-line machine, Skyline is perfect. Now, I've said this before in our Janome's Magical Machine Mystery Tour, that machines are really at a premium. Many of them are on back order, so always check with your local Janome dealer to see what they have in stock at their store. Many accept trade-ins, for example. So maybe someone has traded in an S7 as they've upgraded to, maybe a Continental M7, for example. So maybe the dealer has a trade-in of an F7 that's been gently used that you could purchase as well. So again, always double check with your Janome dealer. But yes, some beautiful features of this machine. One thing that I love is, it's got our AcuFeed flex foot. And I always say AcuFeed is like a walking foot on steroids. So if you follow me down here to the screen of the machine, very easy to attach your AcuFeed flex foot, and all I have to do is push this button with the little three triangles with the two lines, and it'll go yellow. It'll say make sure proper presser foot is attached. And then I hope you'll be able to see with this lighting that the icon turns yellow, so I know it's activated. And this function, this feature, is in many of our Janome machines. And this icon to engage the AcuFeed is the same of all those Janome machines that have the AcuFeed mechanism, so they all have that same icon. And then you'll see down here in the lower part of the screen, it says the AD foot, which is right here on my dual AcuFeed Flex holder. So again, the machine tells me all the information that I need, and now it has grayed out all my zigzag stitches, all my decorative stitches that are not compatible with this foot. So I love having a machine such as Skyline S7 that does some thinking for me. So this way, then we really can't make a mistake. So the machine has already grayed out all those stitches that are not compatible, and I can only do straight stitches. So the AcuFeed Flex foot is great to use for when you're quilting through multiple layers, when you're stitching on your binding of your quilts, for example, that it can really handle everything, the thicker layers. Or again, if you're sewing velvet, for example, and you want to match those seams, or you're matching plaids, for example, and you want to make sure that your lower layer feeds at the same rate as your top layer, then this AcuFeed Flex foot will do that. So again, I always say it's a walking foot on steroids. So that's a great feature. Now also so I'll just disengage that. The Skyline S7 has the sewing applications. This is the first of the Skyline series of machine that will have the sewing applications. So sewing applications is that little t-shirt. So it's like the machine is asking us, well, what do you want to do? So I have many selections. When I did my t-shirt repair, for example, that I wore and that I blogged about in the Janome Life blog, I was doing some over edge, finishing the edge. It mimics a serger, what a serger will do, but because my repair was only like 2 inches, I thought, I don't want to thread up the serger just to repair that little 2-inch bit of my seam that had split. So again, the machine is already set up exactly what I need to do. My fabric was a stretch knit, for example, so there's an option there. And then it tells me, you need the M foot for that overcasting to, again, mimic that serger stitch. It just doesn't trim the fabric. But that was a very simple, easy repair to do. So sewing applications, again, does a lot of thinking for you. Now, one question we always get asked about is ruler quilting. Everybody wants to know, can my machine do ruler quilting? And now, yes, your Janome Skyline S7, yes, can do ruler quilting. There is a ruler foot for you. So the blister pack says 9mm, as our Skyline S7 is 9mm, and 1/4" ruler foot, and then it says for high shank machines 9mm to 7mm maximum width. So the width that they're talking about, the 9mm and 7mm, is down here on your needle plate. It's the width, in this case, the zigzag needle plate is on, so it's the width of that needle plate. So that's my 9mm. So I know that, yes, this is the ruler foot for me. Now, because we don't have a ruler work option in our sewing applications, but we can set it up for the same function, basically. Now, more information about this ruler foot is in the blister pack as well. This will fold out to reveal more information, so make sure you check that out. More about ruler feet, which one is right for you. If you go to our Janome Global site, type in your browser Janome Global site, and there is the Janome Bulletin. There's a Bulletins tab over to the left-hand side, and you click on that. And here is a bulletin all about the ruler feet that came out, at least about a year ago, for the various machines. There's a ruler for pretty much for every Janome machine out there. So you just need to make sure you get the correct one. So again, check your Janome Global site and also double check with your Janome dealer. But this ruler foot specifically, I'm going to go into my sewing applications, again, into my little t-shirt, and I'm going to scroll over and find the quilting icon. So I click that. Now again, there isn't a specific ruler work function, but ruler work is working with your feed dogs down. So that's the same as free quilting or free motion quilting. So I'm going to select my free quilting icon. It's going to tell me to lower the feed, which is just a little button over here at the side. So I would lower my feed dogs, and then I get to select, well, which foot do I want to use? The icon for these stitches up here is the PDH foot, which is like the darning foot that hops around. So I don't really want to use that because my ruler foot doesn't hop around. This just stays over the fabric and skims over it. So instead, I want to select the icon straight stitch number 2, for example, because my free motion quilting feet of QC and QO are selected down here, but they would function the same as this ruler foot. They just hover over the fabric. So I'm not really going to stitch this out, but I will just show you it's very easy to take off your foot holder, and you're going to attach this ruler foot, and then always use your little screwdriver that comes with your machine. Again, ask me how I know why it's important to tighten up that screw, particularly when you're free motion quilting or using your ruler foot. So by attaching the ruler foot here, and I'll just get this little sandwich of fabric. Then I have this little, I'll try not to get my fingers in the way. I have this little screw here. So when I drop my foot, I have this little screw here that I can tighten or loosen, and that will, do you see the, I'm just going to grab my little stiletto here, my little pointer. Do you see that I'm going to raise the foot off the fabric? Or then if I find, oh no, it's really up too high, then I'm going to lower my wheel a little bit. Oops, that's raising it. And then I'm going to lower my wheel a little bit. So again, I want it just to hover over the fabric. We don't want it down too low to mash down the fabric. That'll make it a little harder to move around, but we don't want it up too high. That's going to create some skip stitches or eyelashing at the back of your fabric. So you can adjust it very easily with that little screw there. So that will allow you to do your ruler quilting. And then, again, use all your fabulous rulers up against the foot. Because it's got a higher profile, the ruler isn't going to slip under the foot. We've got a little, divot in the front and at the side so we can really see where our needle is. So that's great. And then to do more ruler quilting, we have our fabulous Janome ruler kit. And this, again, available from your Janome dealer. And what we loved about this ruler kit when it first came out is it has instructions, it has a DVD in it that you can watch and follow along. So it tells you exactly how to use all the templates. There's 6 of them that come in this kit, and it tells you how to cut your fabric in order to make this cute little ruler bag, which of course I left at the office, so I can't show you my finished ruler bag, but I have shown it on previous A to Z with Janome episodes. Specifically, I think I showed it in the Q episode, which I talked about ruler quilting then, because we have a QR ruler foot, but I also talked about the other ruler foot options in that episode. So you can go back to the Janome HQ YouTube channel and then type in, there's a playlist of the A to Z with Janome. So you can select that, and each of those videos will play along one after the other. But specifically that episode was the Q episode of where I showed that little ruler bag that you make with this kit. So it's really adorable. And then again, the DVDs will tell you exactly how to use all the rulers. So that's great. And then, Janome now has more. I've shown this on some of our other Janome's Magical Machine Mystery Tour. We now have the So Comfortable line. So we have a bunch of rulers for domestic quilting as well as long arm quilting, which is great. Some templates and little paddles for like free motion quilting. So that's all under the So Comfortable line that again you can get from your Janome dealer. So the rulers, this is a ditch quilting ruler, for example. So it's got lots of lines to help you with your quilting stay nice and straight. And again, you butt that up against your foot, and this way nothing's going to slide in under it. Very quick and easy to do, very accurate. Now the thing about this ruler foot though, we do not want to use our auto presser foot lift, which is a great feature to use, but in this case, because of this foot holder being so high, if we use our auto presser foot lift or our needle up and down, that could raise this needle bar up too high to hit the foot and go up to the machine, so it could do a little damage. So we don't want to use that. So I always like to take a piece of green painter's tape and put it over our auto presser foot lifts. And a lot of the times with these push button controls, we just hit them out of habit. We don't even have to look. We know exactly where they are. So I always like putting a little piece of green painter's tape so we can't use that auto presser foot lift. Now, same over here on our screen, we have an auto pivot feature, which again is normally great to use, but in this case with our ruler foot, we don't want to use that auto pivot feature. So if I have it in blue, it means it's not selected. If I have it in yellow, then it means it's selected. So I want to make sure, oh no, it's not yellow, it's in blue. I'm not going to use our auto pivot feature with this ruler foot. So just a couple of little tips like that, and then away you go. And ruler quilting is so wonderful. So again, there's lots of other videos on ruler quilting that you can search our Janome HQ YouTube channel. And then as well, go on to our Janome Life blog, and there's lots of posts about ruler quilting there. So that's why I didn't really want to go into it too much here, because there's so much to share. But ruler quilting, for example, will be one of the classes that I'm going to be featuring in our from our Janome Sewing and Learning Center. I am almost ready to pull the plug on my online classes. They will soon be loaded up that you will see. So then ruler quilting will be one of those classes. Now, when we do our ruler quilting, a good thing to use is our straight stitch needle plate. And ooh, look how this beautiful free arm. So we have a free arm with our Skyline S7, so that's great. A lot of people love the free arms. But can you see, oh, there's room in the bottom of that accessory tray for some of our extra tools and some of our spool pins, spool caps, and then yes, this straight stitch needle plate we would use for our free motion quilting and for our ruler quilting. And we have a push button, one step needle plate removal, just like we have on our top of the line Memorycraft 15,000. So I love how, again, in the Janome line that you get so many of those top of the line features in so many machines. It's not always just reserved for the regular top of the line machine. So then I can just easily push that down and away we go. And again, the machine tells me, hey, you've got that straight stitch needle plate on, and then it's going to gray out all my decorative stitches, all my zigzag stitches. So I can't make a mistake and select the wrong stitch. The machine has already done some thinking for me. So that's wonderful. So I'm going to just pop that off. Now you may be able to say too, ooh, extra high presser foot lift, which I love having as well. It makes it so convenient. I'm just going to take out, this bobbin, because I see it's going to be problematic here. I just put some hand cream on my hands so they're a little slippery. But yes, I will just make sure there's no errant threads anywhere. I'm just going to put this zigzag needle plate back on, because then I want to show you some exciting things when you have the Stitch Composer software. Oh, and just before I do that, I'll just show you here that, ooh, there's more storage there in your beautiful case. And then what I love about this indigo Skyline S7 is that we've got the blue bobbins, and then you can get, there's 5, I believe, that come with the machine, but then you can get a whole pack of 25 blue bobbins that has a little butterfly on the case. So then you can get more blue bobbins, but then again, you've got room for all your presser feet. While I'm at it, again, there's always so much, so I'm jumping around a little bit, I'm sorry, but while I'm showing you, again, there's so much storage that perhaps you didn't realize was built in to the machine. Can you, even if you pick up the camera, can you come over here? At the top of the machine, there's room, again, for more of your presser feet. And how about this little indent here by your bobbin winder? I thought, ooh, that indent fits our PDH darning foot, which again I demoed. This was the P episode of the Janome A to Z with Janome, so you can go back to Janome HQ YouTube channel to review that. But that just fits in perfectly to that little indent at the top of the machine. So again, there's so much storage built in, and this is where again our little stylist would go. So like, how perfect is that? So there's lots of room for everything, but and there's more. This beautiful accessory case that comes with a couple of Janome machines, like the 6700 and the Continental M7. This case is available separately, empty, so you could get it for your Skyline S7 or for any of your machines. So again, lots of storage in here. Or I also talked about, since this is a 9mm machine, this 9mm accessory case is available in black, or also like the robin's egg blue that was the original Skyline color, the lighter blue accents as opposed to the indigo. But this is available as well, and there's lots of room in here for all your 9mm feet. Like, ooh, I don't want to tip it all out, but again, look at all that. So there's lots of room in this case for your 9mm presser feet. So that is available as well separately from your Janome dealer to store all your accessories. But again, there's already a lot of storage room in your S7. But I wanted to show you, I'll go back to, my sewing applications. And if I keep scrolling along, I get to a category. Whoops. I want to, get out of here. I want to go into sewing applications. And I want to, sorry, I'm all over the place. I want to go into my decorative stitches here, which is this little curly Q. and I want to scroll through here all my stitches categorized, applique stitches, quilting stitches, satin stitches, but I want to keep scrolling until I see created stitches. Now you may see again a number of our machines have this capability, and you may wonder what's that creative stitches about. Well, if your machine has a Stitch Composer CD that you would load into your computer, this Stitch Composer software will again allow you to create your own stitches, and then you can put them on a USB stick and then insert it into the USB drive that's in the side of the machine. I already have my stick in there. It already conveniently says Janome, but my stick's already in there. So when you have stitches that you've created in your Stitch Composer software, then you can go to the Creative Stitches category and find your stitches. So here is one that I created before. To me, they look like little chess pieces. And then another one that I stitched out is my name. A lot of times when people say, oh, I'm not creative, I don't know what to do, I always say, start with your name. Everyone knows that. So here's my little sample of my stitches that again look a little like chess pieces. But then here with my Stitch Composer software, I created again my name, and it'll just stitch out very easily. I'm using our Janome polyester embroidery thread because again, when you're doing decorative stitches, you might as well use some beautiful thread. But we've got also our Janome is a distributor of Madeira thread, so you can double check with your Janome dealer on which beautiful threads that they have to do a lot of your, again, decorative stitches. So this, I won't continue the whole thing, but again, how fun and easy is that to stitch along. Now, whenever you're doing decorative stitches of any kind, make sure you have a stabilizer on the back. And of course, if anyone who has been watching me doing the Instagram lives, I'm always talking about our Madeira stabilizer starter pack in particular. Again, I left that at the office too, but you can double check with your Janome dealer. But I love using all the scraps of the Madeira stabilizer starter pack. And then this is what I do with the scraps, is I put them on the back of the fabric in order to do my decorative stitches. So, you know, isn't that great? So there's a lot you can do with your machine. But let's say, oh, again, you would like to upgrade to a machine. You'd like to upgrade to the Skyline S7, but oh, your dealer doesn't have any in stock. And again, they're on back order. Maybe you have a Skyline S7 and you think, oh, but I'd like more. And maybe you're considering upgrading. Well, here's an alternative for you. Instead of upgrading to another machine, maybe you just need to, expand the capabilities of which you already have. For example, by using your Stitch Composer software to create your own stitches. Now, you can find more information, again, on our Janome Life blog. We've written many blogs about Stitch Composer, but also on Janome America's website. If you type in janome.com, they have a blog tab on their website and type in Stitch Composer. And here was a whole exercise getting started with Stitch Composer for the 9400. So even though you may have a Skyline S9 or you may have a Skyline S7 or a 15,000, you know, whichever, but the steps of Stitch Composer are the same regardless of the machine. Now, speaking of Skyline S9, if you go to the janome.ca or janome.com website and search for the Skyline S9 machine, there is a little tab there that says Stitch Composer. So you can click on that, and here is a whole exercise about Stitch Composer as well. So there's so much you can find on the various Janome websites. And again, Janome Life blog to get started there. Stitch Composer class, again, will be eventually at the Janome Sewing and Learning Center. But again, how you can do more for your machine. There are these fantastic kits. I was so excited to find these in our warehouse. It's a quilting kit. It will fit the 9900 which is an older machine. But so if you have a 9900, then this kit is for you. Or now we have the 9850. So if you have a 9850, this kit will work for you as well. Or again, Skyline, or they're also known as the Atelier series for 9mm machines. So again, your Skyline S5 and S6, S7, S9 will all use this quilting kit. And what this quilting kit is, there are several feet, like your applique foot and your convertible free motion foot, your clear view quilting foot, your ditch quilting foot, your open toe satin stitch foot. Now, all of those feet I demoed in the A to Z with Janome series. So again, go back to our Janome HQ YouTube channel to find out more about each of those feet. But also in this beautiful kit comes this fabulous, extension table. So isn't this great? This will totally fit around. So if you would like, I need more room with my machine. This is just hovering on my table here. If I need more room, maybe you can get this quilting kit and look, you've got more room for your machine. Or maybe you have, like me, I've never had a table where my machine recesses in. I've always had my machine sitting up atop of my table. So, which is why I love having these extension tables. This is very similar to the table I have for my 15,000. So again, this works great for, again, 9900, 9850, or the Skyline series. So I've got more room here for my ruler quilting, for my free motion quilting, whichever you want to do. So that's in the quilting kit. Again, available order through your Janome dealer, and comes with your cute little bag of feet. But then especially what I loved is they have all the instructions. There's a little quick start guide, as they call it. So there's a whole little booklet here all about the feet. And then there's a little quick start guide here with this little project that you can do as well. So I think how perfect is that you can put your brand new feet to start, right away. So I think that is cool. Or, there's more. There's a fashion and finishing kit. I don't know where my camera is. Is this good? Okay. Fashion and finishing kit. So, this is again for 9mm machines. So your 6650, your 6700, your 8200, 8900, Skyline S9, Memoricraft 15000, Continental M7, any 9mm machine will take this fashion and finishing kit, which has the wide groove beading foot, the narrow groove beading foot, the concealed zipper foot, the edge guide foot, the gathering foot, the 6mm and 4mm rolled hem feet, the ribbons and sequins foot, and again there's a little jumpstart guide with tips in it. Now all of those feet and the ribbon sewing guide, between the A to Z with Janome YouTube series, and then the Janome's Awesome Accessory Countdown series, again, all on Janome HQ YouTube channel. I demoed every single one of those feet. I demoed the ribbon sequin, or the ribbon, ribbon sequin foot, all of that I demoed on the, A to Z with Janome and Janome's Awesome Accessory Countdown. So you read the instructions, but also watch those videos for more. And then again, there's more. We haven't finished. There's a crafting and decor kit and home decor kit. So it's got the border guide foot. The circular sewing attachment. That's just so fun to do. The free motion couching foot, the piping foot, the ribbon sewing guide. That was in Janome's Awesome Accessory Countdown. And again, a whole sheet on tips and how to get started with it. So there's so many of these kits that are in our warehouse. I know they're in our warehouse, so you can order them from your Janome dealer. So there's so many of these kits where you can add them to whatever machine you have to get more out of that machine before you upgrade. And again, maybe the machine you'd like now isn't available, it's on back order. So get some of these kits with some of these extra presser feet to again get more from your machine. Now the nice thing is, so long as it's a 9mm, then you can use all these feet with any 9mm machine. So that's a good thing too. If you have your Skyline S7, for example, and then one day get a Continental M7, all of these 9mm feet will be able to be used on that other 9mm machine too. So you're never at a loss. So again, there's so much to do. How are we doing time-wise? Oh, yes, okay, Joe's telling me, roll it up. Okay, fabulous. So again, as always, you can check out your Janome accessory guide on your janome.ca or janome.com website to find out what accessories are available for your machine. Specifically for our Skyline S7 here, it is category E because we have AcuFeed, but it's a regular sewing machine. There's no embroidery, so it's category E. So I would look in the accessory guide, anything with an E, like the beading foot, for example, then we would find in this guide. So we could buy the beading foot either by a separate blister pack, or the beading foot is in our fashion and finishing kit. So you can either, again, buy these presser feet all separately or then get them all bundled together in one of these kits. So,
Marianne has a question.
Oh, yes.
How do you find how many hours used?
I don't know if I don't believe on this machine you can find it. We have that on our Continental M7, and I think we only have it on the 15,000. I don't believe we have it in here. Some of our machines, what Marianne is asking, I believe, is how many sewing hours has the machine been on, how many hours the machine has been on, and then how many sewing hours. But again, on this machine, I don't think it is. I think it's just our 15,000 and our Continental M7. Right now I'm searching through the settings mode, but I don't see anything that would say that. On our 15,000, it's in the little question mark, which we don't have here. And then on the Continental M7, it's in our functions menu, which we don't have here either. So I don't believe it's counting the number of sewing hours or the number of hours that the machine is on. That is, again, further up the Janome line, I guess. But yes, okay, fabulous. Thank you, everyone. I thank you so much for joining me. Again, for more information about upcoming online classes from the Janome Sewing and Learning Center, you can write me at classes@janome-canada.com. And I hope to see you all next Wednesday at 1 p.m. as we do another Janome's Magical Machine Mystery Tour. I'll be back at the Janome Sewing and Learning Center there. So, again, what machine am I going to be talking about? We don't know. It's a mystery. So I hope to see you all then. Thank you so much for joining me today. Bye.
Bye.